Thanks for that video, Tom. It was saying very much what I've been saying for a while. When we look at 007, from the very inception of 007, you only see derision when people sort of put tags on 007, i.e. 007 should be a homosexual, 007 should actually be a woman, or 007 should be this and 007 should be that. 007 at the end of the day is a male character. That's where the books go in. It says he's a male character. So what are we supposed to do? Who's supposed to play Moneypenny? If you have a female 007, how are we supposed to get the interaction? You know, it's a load of crap, really, that you know, the lobby out there says, you know, 007 should be this, 007 should be that. 007 is a male figure, okay? You know, when we go out of the box, you know, we could argue that Wonder Woman, okay, let's have Wonder Man with all the stockings and tights. It's just not going to fucking work. Do you know what I mean? So it's a male figure. You know, I'm not a chauvinist, but 007 is a male figure. And when we go to Doctor Who as well, all this talk about let's have a female Doctor Who. Okay, now that's another model. The model is it's a male figure. Okay, if you want to invent a figure that's female, let's have another series that looks at a female individual that's a time traveler and, you know, does something very different from the Doctor Who as we see it today. You know, I'm really critical of, you know, what the present day Doctor Who is actually doing. But I'm actually really impressed with the last episode. But this is not about you know, the episodes of Doctor Who and all the rest of it. Back to this, you know, there's another area here, the great successful series known as Time Team, right? It was a really successful series, but then in the last two series they started mucking around with the formula. Professor Mick Aston, who's no longer with us, rest his soul, was up against Channel 4 saying, what we're going to do, we're going to introduce some really sexy female characters, okay, who are not trained archaeologists, and we're going to put it in there to spice the series up. And what happened? Going from a series that people used to really enjoy with viewing figures 5-6 million completely crashed to the lower millions, simply because people weren't watching it to see female dolly birds, okay? They were seeing it to see the archaeologists interacting with the archaeology, whether they're male or female, okay? Oh, in that vein, what we may as well do, why did they try to add a figure like Sean Bean into Time Team? It would have had exactly the same effect. It's not about male or female, sexy figures and all that fucking bollocks, you know? This sort of stereotypifying society and putting it into our genres is absolutely fucking wrong, you know? What we see today is a natural progression, okay? I very much see, you know, the profession of archaeology dominated by female archaeologists today, okay? But they didn't need to put non-archaeologists in Time Team, non-female archaeologists in Time Team to spice up. Just use the existing archaeological pool that we've actually got. You know, I teach many more female archaeologists than I do male. That's the way it works. In politics, for example, you know, 20 years ago, the only characters who were female politicians you could have really only enshrined were the likes of Margaret Thatcher, okay? Hasn't been because of lots of main political parties having deliberate all-list female candidates. All those all-list female candidates really didn't do any harm. What female politicians simply did, they actually made their way up the ladder, and now we see in Germany Angela Merkel, we see in Scotland Nicola Sturgeon, okay, we see in England Theresa May, we see in Ireland we've got some really prominent female politicians. In France as well, we were going to have Marine Le Pen being elected. That's because they made it at the top of their game, okay? And that's the way to do it, you know. But television programs, it's written. It's not accidental. It's not a deliberate progression. Okay, and going back to the original point, what we see is that we need Doctor Who to be male. We need 007 to be male. Okay, and if you're going to have female figures in their own right, then you have female figure orientated serials. Okay, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, good example. If Buffy the Vampire Slayer had been a male, it just wouldn't have worked. Okay, it just wouldn't have worked. If you look at serials, well, actually soap operas more than anything. There's a good balance there, and that's the way it should be. They're a good figure. There are good female figures in, for example, Coronation Street and EastEnders. Are good male figures in Coronation Street and EastEnders. That's because that's society. That's balanced. And one last point I will say: if anyone ever turns around and says to me that females are downtrodden and they're not really part of society, they can fuck right off, because you know, as a male, my rights as a male are being pushed down and are being downtrodden. Okay, and we're not allowed to be able to express ourselves. Tom was really, really right the other day when he was playing pool with somebody who's got a disability, and he was saying that individual, who I know, I think he's great. I think he's really funny. But the individual that Tom's actually talking about, yeah, I do respect him, and I respect him because he says, fuck it. I don't give a damn what people say about me, and he goes out and does it. Okay? And I really fucking respect that. Not because he's disabled, because he's fucking going out there. And Tom's a good example of this as well. Tom doesn't have a disability, but Tom, his background and the level of the base where he is problematic. Okay? Tom has had to sort of get these steps and get to where he fucking get. That's respect. Okay? And it's not because Tom's fucking disabled. It's because he's doing what he's fucking doing. He's doing these videos. And I really respect him for that. Back to everything else. If people want to go out there and enshrine themselves and sort of take control, then they fucking do that. But, you know, we don't need people saying that we should have a female 007 and a female Doctor Who. Thank you very much, Tom. Great video. I don't know. Come up with something else and I'll respond to it. Cheers, Tom.